Every one of you, we welcome you to Integrity Seminary, the best kept secret in all of Dallas. But we're about to expose that right now in Jesus' name.
Amen.
I'm so honored just to be able to have this opportunity, just to be able to speak today. We're in a classmate with some amazing students from all around the world, from Kenya to Brazil. We just had an amazing opportunity, but I just woke up this morning with one thing in my spirit, that we made it. And I don't mean just through the 12 months through class. I mean through everything the enemy threw. We got students that have been through divorce, and loss of their husband, loss of their children. We made it. We have people who have lost their homes, lost their jobs, but we made it. We've had students that even during this course, their spouse has walked off and left them, and God didn't let them stop. We made it. And I was preparing so many things to say today, but right before I came, I asked the Lord, what did He want to say to everyone that would be here today? And He just said, tell them, I got a plan. I got a plan, and I'm trying to include them in it. I got a plan, and I have no intentions on leaving them out of it. And because of that, I just want to arrest every spirit that's trying to distract you right now. I come against every diabolical plan of the enemy to keep you from making it in the name of Jesus. I arrest every agent of the underworld that has come to frustrate you, distract you, hinder you, sabotage the plans of God on your life. I annihilate every attack of depression trying to consume your mind. I come against every lie that the enemy has told you and you have believed, that you are too late, you are too old, you are too ugly, you are too fat, you are too skinny, you are too bald, you got too much hair, you got too much money, you got too much education. Every lie he has released, I shut it down right now in the name of Jesus. I declare that we are apostolic soldiers in this season, in this time, and we will not be denied the promises of God. I declare that the laws work in our favor right now in the name of Jesus. I declare that God is synchronizing and syncopating our name with the perfect will of God. I declare that we are in the perfect move of God for financial breakthrough to catch up with us. I serve notice on our future. We will not be denied. We are on our way. So embrace yourself. We are coming with full force in the name of Jesus. I command every one of our angels to get up off of your seat and go forth and get what rightfully belongs to us in the name of Jesus. We did not die on our watch, so we will prosper and be of good health in Jesus' name. I declare everybody that's under the sound of my voice, including the directors and the visionary of this school, that we will live and not die and proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Thank you, Lord.
In Jesus' name I pray, amen. I'm excited about what God asked me to do, and I'm excited about the call of God. But I wanted to say this to you. You know, everybody in here has had a word that God's going to use you. God's going to do something. God's going to make you a history maker. And sometimes when there's a delay in that, you think that that is not going to come to pass. As though God could lie. As though God could go back on His word. As though God could forget us.
Come on.
As though it was something that could possibly happen on this planet that He wouldn't possibly know about and already had made a plan in place. I'm here to tell you right now, He has a plan and He's trying to make us be a part of it. But you got to get ready. You got to get ready for what He's getting ready to do. And some people, I hear them say, I know God is carrying me, but I have no clue what to do. You got to get in somebody's school. Get ready for something. It would be a real wise idea to get into Integrity Seminary. It would be a brilliant idea to enroll as a student in this class. But get in somebody's school to get ready. I don't care if it's something in your church. We got to get prepared. Why do I say that? Because the Bible says, my people are perishing because of lack of knowledge. And today I believe God is only talking to His people.
Right.
He doesn't have no intention for His people to perish. So we got to get ready. You 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 got to work out. You say, I'm too fat to work out.
Oh my God.
I'm too old to work out. But I declare you can sit at the edge of the bed and say 1, 2, 1, 2. Why is she talking about exercise? Because when the enemy can't find nothing else, he's going to try to come for your help. And so when you learn his tactics, you can stay 10 steps ahead of him. So you got to get your body, you got to serve this body notice. No more cookies after 10. Say it to your neighbor. Say no more cookies after 10. I got to get ready. Oh, don't be rebellious now. Say no more cookies after 10. I got to get ready. Yeah, Jesus. That gives you 9:57 and 9:58 to shove as many as you can down. But after 10, it's on. Why is she saying 10? Because witches and warlocks are up through the night saying they won't rise up and take their rightful place. But you got to stay 10 steps ahead and say, I'm about to get ready. I done made it too far not to accomplish what he made me to do. So I'm going to do at least my little part. I ain't going to eat you after 10. You can wait till 8 in the morning. We're going to get ready. We're going to get into class and we're going to get prepared. Let me tell you something. When you believe what God said, God can strategically place you where he needs you to be. My husband just walked in the room. I was like, there's going to be peace when we get home. He's the second best thing that happened to me since Jesus Christ. Because he paid all the bills. Whoa! I made it! I'm so honored that he is here tonight. My mother and my sisters and my family are here tonight. Everything they've watched me go through this process. I want to encourage you to not believe the lies of the enemy in this season. If you made it, you cannot afford to believe them because God is doing something. He's not going to do something. He is already doing it. I ain't probably, he about feeling like he's gonna, oh, I see him coming on the right. No, he's already there.
Thank you, Father.
And we are right in the midst of what he's doing right now. And so you are here right now that you might be encouraged to not quit on this battlefield. All assignments of failure right at the edge of miracles, right at the edge of breakthrough. I knew God had called me to have influence over actors and people that were in the entertainment industry. And I really didn't know how to get into that field or that arena. And so I signed up to be an extra in the movies. And so I've been in the Grudge Match, and so I was in some different movies, and I was sitting there one day, and I was in a movie at Play for Salvation. They were going to do a pilot program, and they were doing a scene where they had all these pastors on the pulpit, and the scene was supposed to be a scene from a mega church doing a funeral, and I was sitting there, and this never happens, but the director looks out at the audience. He says, we're trying to make this movie, we're trying to make this series, and we need you guys' help. We know all of you have been to church before, and so we want to make this look as real as possible. And so what we'd like to do is, if y'all see something that wouldn't really happen or would really happen, then let us know. And I was sitting in the audience, just excited to be getting a check by sitting in church. You know, normally I got to minister and give 10 scriptures to get a check, but I was just going to give one for sitting in the congregation. I was sitting there, and they said, if you see something that's not in line, and so I sat there as long as I possibly could, and I stood up, and in the scene we were in, there was 1,000 people sitting in the audience with me. And I stood up and I just said, Mr. Director, if this was a real mega church, in real time today, there would be a woman sitting on that pulpit. I just thought you'd like to know. And I sat down. So he said, he looked at the audience and he said, is she telling the truth? And they all said, yes, he's telling the truth. Yes, it would be. And so he looks at me and he said, do you know a woman pastor that we can use today? I looked at my agent and I said, you could use me? So I went up on the stage and they said, get her a chair, get her on the chair. And they was going to sit me on the sidelines. I was happy, you know, I'm just glad to be in the scene. My son was sitting next to me. He said, Mama, don't say nothing, don't say nothing. Don't embarrass us. We're already on the front row, we're going to get a lot of camera time. Don't say nothing else. But when they said, come on up and sit down, he said, go on, mama, get your shoes, get your shoes, get your shoes. They want you to go on up front, go on up front. I'm going to tell you, there's some people, they're not going to understand what God is doing with you, but you keep on going.
Oh my God.
You keep on pressing toward the mark. I got up there and I began to sit, and the writer came down, and the writer said, we're going to give you a script. And she got ready to pass me the script, and she said, but if I was going to give you a script, tell me, if you're a pastor, what would you say? And I looked at her and I said, I'd say, I don't know what the usher told you you're here for today, but we're here to celebrate the homegoing of the greatest encourager of our time. A history maker that will not be forgotten in the books. If you ever walked into the service, he had a way of encouraging you, and I began to go on with this spell, and the lady was just looking. And she took her paper and she balled it up and she said, you just go with that. And you just get up and say that. And they came up, and I was supposed to sit there in the audience and get paid $88 an hour for the time I sat there. She said, well, now that you're speaking on this, what we're going to do is this is the NBC series, so we're going to change you and you're going to get paid $800. I said, oh, I'm going to go back to the back, and I went back to the back, y'all. I don't know why God calls me. I think he wants somebody that said, bless the Lord. But instead he sends me who's like, gotcha! Gotcha anyway! I went back there and I began to shout, and I began to just get excited, and he said, it's because you hid the word in your heart. You had it ready when I got ready to call on you. So I got paid to play the role of a pastor, y'all. I said, anytime, Lord Jesus, you can use it. From now on, if I ever do any other movies, they cannot pay me less than that. Because that's you're officially on that. Let me tell you, sometimes when you allow God to officially use you, he can begin to use you to take the mountains that the world has thought that they were the ones able to dominate it. And so, even now, Dr. Lee began to talk about me being the new mayor of Wilmer, Texas. Once again, I was just on a committee doing things for my city, doing things and showing love for my city, and I knew that God had wanted to use me to be an influence. So I just began to go to the city council meetings, just to sit in and learn what they were talking about. And when you hear that every vote counts, it really does. I won by 2 votes. And they said, you only won by 2 votes. I would have took 1 and kept on running. But I know it was the hand of God. I know it was the grace of God. And you know, sometimes people don't want to call you mayor. They're not used to it. They never have had an African American run, let alone win. But it's not even about the color of my skin or my gender. It is about the hand of God. When God's got his hand on it, it has nothing to do with anything else but his perfect will being done on earth as it is in heaven. Can I tell you that getting ready to graduate with my doctor's degree is just about an act of obedience. You know, there were some mornings I did not want to get up and come, y'all. But I knew Dr. Lee had a wonderful lady that was going to make lunch, that was going to encourage me. It was going to encourage my soul every time I was going to be rewarded. And it was included in the fee, so I just thought I'd press my way. And even days when people wanted me to leave early, I told them it'll have to be after lunch. This woman is going to go in there and find something for all of us. And so if you don't enroll for nothing else, try lunch. Dr. Lee is a good teacher. He gets fired up every now and then. He can preach. This white boy can preach. And he has a way of sharing the truth. You get in seminary and you're so afraid that they're going to teach you something that you don't believe in. You're so afraid to enroll because you're in a different denomination and you're going to try to get somebody going to push down something that's going to raise your brow, or you get something so watered down trying not to tip the scale. Man, it's not like that at all. I just want to challenge some people to step out and try God. Try God and see. God said, try me now and see. See when I be there for you. See when I hold your heart. See when I give you the money. Say amen, students. And see when I give you the money every single month. You say, well, I don't got the money to pay for that. We find money to pay for what we want to pay for.
Amen.
If you save up all your chicken money, all of your Red Lobster money, you can go to class at this here school. I'm going to tell you this, and when you finish, you will come out with more than a degree, more than a certificate. We're really ready to take on the world as a history maker. We have some students that are going to mission fields right after this. We have some students that are going to start their own school right after this. And so it's really to empower you to do what God really called you to do. I just came to tell you that God said He got a plan. And He got you in it. And you're sitting at this time for such a time as this. I know God didn't let me be born in the time of slavery. I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have made it. I couldn't have been in a time where blacks and whites couldn't sit together. I wouldn't have made it through that time. He didn't let me be born where women couldn't have nothing or own nothing. I wouldn't have made it. But He let all of us be born for such a time as this. You got two good days. You got the day you're born and the day you know why. And the day you know why, you will become an unstoppable, unmovable, unchangeable, wreckable force for the kingdom. They said I could not do it. They said, you don't have enough money. You don't have enough people by your side. But I want you to tell you something. The devil is a lie. The truth ain't in him. And if God be for you, man, they was against me and they still is against me, but I'm in now. I'm going to run and see what the end going to be.